Hi, my name is Amanda Dlamini, and you're watching Grit Sports TV. Discovered by coach Augustine Magalagalane, who was the national team coach at the time. And he was following me from Durban Ladies and just following my progress and what I was up to in Johannesburg. And a year later, I was called into the national team, and I think that's how I kicked off my national team duties in Johannesburg. No, look, when you grow up, obviously, you see role models on TV playing the sport, and you always dream that you'd play alongside them. But, I mean, you're growing up from the rural areas, you don't think that your dreams would be a reality that far off, and I thought, well, it was just one of the things where I saw Portia Modise, Veronica Pewa, Nandi Pamlomo on TV, and I thought, okay, I'd like to be there, like any other girl would aspire. But I didn't think that it would be such a reality also, So when I got to the team, I was starstruck. I won't even lie about that, because I saw these role models. We in the same hotel, we're in the same change room all of a sudden, we're juggling together. It just was so surreal, But then I knew that I had to prove myself, because being in the national team was just not the ultimate goal. I wanted to play for the country, and therefore it meant I had to work hard. But upon selection in 2006, I didn't make it because I didn't have a passport. I was supposed to travel with the team and go to Ghana. But in 2007, I made my debut in July, where we were playing against Nigeria for an Olympic qualifier. So that for me also was a bit of mixed emotions, because I got on in the second half and we were already trailing 3-0. So I remember the coach Makalakalan saying to me, I know the score is 3-0, you can't do much about it, but just go out there and give me a reason to call you back again. So I thought to myself, this is a lifeline. So I need to make sure that I perform to my best, and not try and overshine everyone, but be a team player, but also give the coach a reason to call me back again. The experience was great. I won't lie. There were moments where we also didn't know our next opponent, because we had to go through the qualifiers first. We didn't have groups. We'd just play a team, and then later announce that we're playing so-and-so again. So I think it was just almost like a game of the unknown, because we had to wait on the next opposition. And we knew that it would be tough. I remember playing Ethiopia for the first time. We didn't know anything about them. And we thought, we've never heard anything about them, so it would be easy. Oh boy, we had a tough challenge, and unfortunately they found us at a time where we thought we have to make this work. We want to make history for the first time and qualify for the Olympics. And we did extremely well. And also just the participation and the support from the media, because if you know the story of women's football in the country, you'd know that the media had no interest before in women's football. They'd be there for the important games, but the build-up, the interviews, nobody would even profile some of the female players. So once we qualified for the Olympic Games, everything just started changing. Their support also increased. A lot of players were being profiled. A lot of people started hearing about Banyana just, recently. So for us, it seemed like we had won a battle, of people getting to recognize women's football. And it was good for us. So when we got to the Olympic Games, criticism, we won't make it, we underperformed throughout the stages. A bit difficult to swallow, taking into account of the challenges that we have in the country, where we play in a structure where there's no professional women's football as yet. But the whole experience, just rubbing shoulders with the best footballers in the world, female footballers, knowing that we're in the same city as the best athletes in the world, that for me, I think, was an experience of its own. And the team that we had qualified with was the best team that I feel we've played with. It was just really an amazing experience, and I think with that we made names for ourselves in a way, and a lot of people then started having an interest in women's football. The only difference was that we were at the village. We were at the village, and this meant we were again rubbing shoulders with the greatest athletes in the world. We got to see them, we got to meet them, interact with them. We were at the same dining hall, for crying out loud, and a moment to treasure forever, But this time around, we knew what to expect. We competed. We showed our quality. We worked extremely hard. And yes, like you say, we didn't have the most experienced players that we looked up to. But it was an opportunity again for us, the senior players, but also the younger players, to make a name for themselves. We were just there to guide them and really just support the coach also with her intentions and her tactics of the games. So it was really nice. I mean, who wouldn't want to play in Brazil? I mean, it was Olympic Games. So for us, this time around was much, much better in terms of the experience. We knew what to expect. So, like I say, when we got back again, we didn't perform extremely well. But I think a lot of people saw the quality and the potential that we have in the team. And hence the support when we got back. There was less criticism. There's positive criticism, constructive criticism, So I think the girls really enjoyed the experience. Players and coaches always disagree, like all the time, on and off the pitch. But Coach Desiree is a legend in the game. She deserves that respect. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye for obvious reasons, whether it's on the pitch or off the pitch. I always support her in everything that she does, and we talk. I don't think it was even an issue. It was just miscommunication and misunderstanding between the two. We always have a challenge when it comes to Banyana calendar, when the games are going to play, when we're having our camps. So because of that, sometimes there'll be clashes with my schedule and the work that I have to do. So I always plan my stuff weeks before so that I know that if there's camp in between, I can accommodate it. Will it be flexible or not? And this time around, we didn't know that we had camp, and I had already agreed to going to speak about women's sports and the challenges that we face in the industry. And for me, I felt that it was a good opportunity for me to sell our story, for people to know the challenges that we face in the country. And I had asked Coach just for a day off camp, and then I'd be back again so that I'd do my presentation and come back in camp. And I guess she didn't understand, and she gave me an ultimatum that was to choose whether I go and do the presentation or she kicks me out of the team that was going for the African Women Championships, of which I felt was unfair because I had just asked to be excused for a day. But I had to respect her decision, and I thought to myself, this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm going to build a relationship with other people from different spheres of the industry. And it's a good time to sell women's football also, so that people know about it. I guess I then was left after the team, and it was a very tough time for me, I guess, because, I mean, it's always such a great honor to be part of the team. But it was, having said that, it was a lesson learned for both parties, maybe to communicate better, but also for Banyana's calendar, maybe to be organized better, because then that says we know in hindsight, or we know beforehand, the games that we have, so that we can plan properly, because there's people who work, there's students in the team, so we have to plan accordingly. I think there is an improvement, a slight improvement though. We at least have a league, the SASA League, that we play in, week out, of which is very good. And I really commend SASA for the 9 years that they've invested in women's football. Because at the time we thought it was just a sponsorship for the national team. But they took the Women's Football League under their wing, and they've supported it for 9 years, which is really good. For just a corporate of their own, just one company that supports women's football. And there's thousands of girls that play in this league. But then again, it just shows that the corporates, I don't know, maybe are still taking some time to warm up into women's football, to invest in women's football. And I think it's still such a challenge, because without financial backing, it's difficult to manage our teams. But also, I mean, in the national team, we still struggle in terms of kit, proper equipment for the girls. Those are some of the challenges that we face within now Banyana. But then I think you know the story of it. We're always crying about equal pay, and that's what we feel that we deserve that. Once you're in the national team, you should be paid equally like the guys. But if you're at club level, then it's different, So those are just some of the issues that we are always just talking about. Well, at first I thought it was just about me, me expressing myself and just talking football. But I think the bigger picture is Supersport as a big company that is giving women a chance. And I think that's where it all starts. If it is that big companies like Supersports or MultiChoice are giving women an opportunity, we can always rise above the expectations, because a lot of people thought, okay, just because she's played the game, it doesn't mean she can translate it and really put it into perspective like she would. But like I say, once you're given an opportunity, I think as women we always thrive on opportunities. So for me, I thought to myself, as scared as I was, because I remember the first time was during the AFCON when Bafana was playing, and you can imagine how many people are watching the national team. And I was always analyzing our national team, and then it meant I had to make sense. I didn't have to prove myself to anyone because I knew that I was speaking something that I was seeing. And if you fault me for that, then you have a different opinion. It's not that we'd always agree. So, I mean, like you say, working with Robert also, I think, it just made my life so much easier. Working with the likes of Carol also, it made my life so easy. They guided me. They just told me, just speak your mind. You've played football. Just tell us what you see, And yeah, for me, I then realized that, this is a golden opportunity for the other girls, whether in the national team or anywhere else, that, if it is that we focus on something and really want to do it, when an opportunity comes, you can't let it go. So I've since held on to that and really working hard on my analysis. Yeah, the foundation was established in 2012, just when I returned from the Olympic Games. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to start a foundation. I don't know how to do it, but we'll have to do it. And because my mom is my mom, she always supports me in anything that I do. If she knows that I think about it and I've prayed about it, then she'll support me. So, yeah, and then she asked me why. And I said to myself, well, you know what? I had so many dreams coming from Ehading. And Ehading, nobody knows Ehading. And I grew up Gomak, it's like the deep, deep rural areas. And you know how we grew up. And I felt like I wanted to tell my story to the young girls, especially from Ehading, Uguti. You know what? We have so many talents and we are so gifted, but it's just a matter of really believing in what you do, but also for the community and mentors in the community to support you in what you do. So I said to her, whatever talent that you have, whatever skill that you may have, you can always just use it for a better future, for a better career. I honestly feel that I fought poverty because of football. I escaped from the social ills that we face back at home, teenage pregnancy, drug and alcohol abuse because of football. I got through university because of football. I've traveled the world because of football. So why is it that we cannot give that little bit of hope to the younger girls back at home? You're not just going to go through school and then get married at such a young age. I'm sure you're skilled maybe in maths, physics or whatever. So use what you have to support your family, but also to give yourself a better future, So then because of that dream, we then started knocking on doors, corporates, and Jockey International, Jockey Underwear were the ones that responded first and really supported me. And they thought, okay, we just looked for t-shirts and kits to give to the girls. And then when they saw our reports and the pictures and what kind of influence and impact we had on the young girls, they then decided to make me the brand ambassador. And then they were like, because you'll be our brand ambassador, we want to endorse the Dlamini Girls Foundation. So whatever it is that you do, whatever plans that you have at the foundation, we will 100% fully endorse those wishes. And for me, I thought to myself, you know what, something that started out as just an idea, as a conversation between a mother and daughter, has now materialized to something so big. And from then onwards, I felt that I had much more of a bigger responsibility to take care of the young ones. So we normally just go to schools in the deep rural areas, wherever in the country, and we will have coaching clinics, we'll have coaching symposium for coaches, but also we have career guidance talks with the younger girls. And then we just donate sporting equipment, because we know how difficult it is to have a passion, but then there are no resources for you to nurture that passion. So that's what we still aspire to to do and just keep doing until it gets much better, until maybe one day there'll be an Amanda Dlamini Academy somewhere, and that is the ultimate goal. Well, it'll just simply be, I mean, we always have to be transparent to the younger ones, to say that the life that we live is not a glamorous life. There's a lot of hard work that goes behind it. If it is that you want to get into the national team, you have to really work hard. And especially if you're a young woman, you have to go to school first, because our league is not professionalized as yet. So you cannot make a living out of football. So the truth and honest fact about it is that you have to go to school, so that if it doesn't work out for you, at least you have something to fall back on. But also for the boys, there's thousands and thousands of boys who are talented in football. Not all of the guys will make it into professional league. So if it is that you want to put your career up there, you have to go to school, because at the end of the day, you might get a contract, you might not. If you get a contract, good for you. You'll have good years of PSL and professional league, but there are injuries. There's a time where you have to stop playing also. You'll be out of a contract. Then you have to fall back on something. Then you have to study. So for me, I'm very big on education and sports, because they do go together. It's just that it's a matter of realizing those opportunities. But also, I think as the young generation, we always feel like people owe us stuff. It's high time that we be innovative about things. We have so many brilliant ideas. The amount of time that we spend on social media, on Twitter and everything, we need to be innovative in terms of employing ourselves, creating jobs for ourselves, working together to build those dreams. So for me, it's just to eradicate that stereotype that someone owes us something. We need to make it for ourselves.